The atmosphere surrounding the Middle East conflict in 2026 is defined by intensity, uncertainty, and rapidly shifting narratives. As the war between the United States, Israel, and Iran enters its second month, global attention remains fixed on the region, not just because of the scale of military operations, but because of the far-reaching consequences for global security, energy markets, and international alliances. The conflict, which erupted following coordinated U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iranian targets in late February 2026, has since evolved into a broader regional confrontation, drawing in proxy forces, disrupting global oil supply chains, and placing immense pressure on world leaders to either escalate or de-escalate. At the center of this unfolding crisis is U.S. President Donald Trump, whose rhetoric has become as much a part of the battlefield as missiles and drones. His statements present a confident, almost triumphant narrative, one that frames Iran as weakened, negotiations as inevitable, and the United States as firmly in control. Yet behind this rhetoric lies a far more complicated reality, one marked by resilience on the Iranian side, divisions among U.S. allies, and a war that appears far from a decisive conclusion. Trump's framing of Iran's position is direct and unmistakable. For 47 years, Iran has been known as the bully of the Middle East. But they are not the bully any longer. They're on the run. Donald Trump, President of the United States. This statement reflects a long-standing U.S. perspective on Iran's regional role, but it also attempts to redefine the current moment as a turning point. The administration has repeatedly claimed that its military campaign has severely degraded Iran's capabilities, targeting missile systems, naval infrastructure, and command structures. However, intelligence assessments suggest that while damage has been inflicted, Iran retains a significant portion of its arsenal, including underground missile stockpiles and decentralized launch systems that remain difficult to eliminate. Despite these complexities, Trump continues to project an image of overwhelming success. We're crushing Iran currently as we speak. I just looked. We had another big day. We hit them. They don't know what's happening. Donald Trump, President of the United States. Such statements are consistent with his broader communication strategy, emphasizing dominance, speed, and unpredictability. The United States has indeed carried out extensive airstrikes, deploying advanced weaponry and coordinating closely with Israeli forces. Yet the persistence of Iranian retaliation, ranging from missile strikes on regional bases to attacks on energy infrastructure, suggests that the conflict is far from one-sided. One of the most striking aspects of Trump's remarks is the apparent contradiction in his stance on negotiations. On one hand, he denies engaging in talks with Iran, presenting the United States as uncompromising and unwilling to negotiate under pressure. Remember this, they lied about 3 days ago. I said, yeah, we're negotiating with this. We are not negotiating. Donald Trump, President of the United States. Yet almost immediately he shifts his position, portraying Iran as desperate to reach an agreement. They're being hit so hard, anybody would be negotiating. They are negotiating. They're begging to make a deal. Donald Trump, President of the United States. This dual messaging reflects the reality of modern conflict diplomacy. While public statements often emphasize strength and resolve, back-channel negotiations frequently continue behind the scenes. Reports indicate that the United States has proposed a multi-point peace plan, including demands related to Iran's nuclear program, regional activities, and the reopening of critical shipping routes. Iran, however, has publicly dismissed these claims, maintaining that it is not engaged in direct negotiations, even as intermediaries continue to explore possible pathways toward de-escalation.
The economic dimension of the conflict plays a central role in shaping both strategy and perception. Trump referenced what he described as symbolic gestures from Iran involving oil shipments. They said, we're going to send you 8 ships of oil. Donald Trump, President of the United States. And then they actually said, we're going to add an extra 2. And they added an extra 2.
Donald Trump, President of the United States. While there is no verified evidence supporting these specific claims, they highlight how economic signals are being interpreted within the broader narrative of pressure and negotiation. The war has already caused significant disruptions to global energy markets, with oil prices surging due to instability in key shipping lanes. Iran's actions in the Strait of Hormuz, either through direct interference or the threat of disruption, have had a profound impact on global trade, underscoring the strategic importance of this narrow waterway. Trump's emphasis on the Strait of Hormuz further underscores its centrality to the conflict. They have to open up the strait, Hormuz. Donald Trump. President of the United States. The strait serves as a choke point for a significant portion of the world's oil supply, and its disruption has sent shockwaves through global markets. The United States has made reopening the strait a key objective, even threatening further military action against Iranian infrastructure if access is not restored. At the same time, Iran has used its position to exert leverage, demonstrating how geography can be transformed into strategic power. Beyond military and economic considerations, Trump's remarks also point toward a broader vision for the Middle East. He repeatedly referenced the Abraham Accords, a series of normalization agreements between Israel and several Arab states, as a foundation for a new regional order. We did the Abraham Accords. I think all the Middle Eastern countries are going to be joining now. Donald Trump, President of the United States. The implication is clear. Military pressure on Iran could create conditions for expanded diplomatic alignment across the region. While this vision remains speculative, there are indications that the administration is actively seeking to revive and expand these agreements as part of its broader strategy. Yet, even within his confident rhetoric, Trump acknowledged the inherent unpredictability of war. There's always surprises with war. Many wars are lost. You think a country is going to wipe somebody out, and they end up getting wiped out themselves. Donald Trump, President of the United States. This acknowledgement reflects a reality that analysts have repeatedly emphasized. Despite initial expectations of a rapid and decisive campaign, the conflict has proven more complex and prolonged than anticipated. Iran has demonstrated resilience, adapting its tactics and leveraging regional alliances to sustain pressure on U.S. and Israeli forces. Meanwhile, the possibility of further escalation, including the involvement of additional regional actors, continues to loom. One of the most controversial aspects of Trump's remarks concerns NATO and the future of U.S. alliances. His criticism of the alliance reflects growing frustration with what he perceives as a lack of support from European partners. A tremendous mistake was when NATO just wasn't there. They just weren't there. Donald Trump, President of the United States, he followed this with an even more direct challenge to the alliance's foundation. Why would we be there for them if they're not there for us? Donald Trump, President of the United States. These statements come amid a widening divide between the United States and its European allies. Many NATO members have declined to participate militarily in the conflict, citing legal concerns and a preference for diplomatic solutions. This reluctance has led to tensions within the alliance, raising questions about its cohesion and future direction. Trump's comments go further, suggesting a potential shift in U.S. policy toward NATO. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars a year on NATO, but now, based on their actions, I guess we don't have to be. Donald Trump, President of the United States. Such remarks have significant implications for global security. NATO has long been a cornerstone of international defense cooperation, and any shift in U.S. commitment could reshape the balance of power in Europe and beyond. At the same time, the war continues to evolve on multiple fronts. Iran has expanded its use of proxy forces, including groups in Yemen and Lebanon, to target U.S. and Israeli interests. Missile attacks on regional bases, including those in Saudi Arabia, have resulted in casualties among U.S. personnel, highlighting the ongoing risks faced by American forces. The United States has responded by increasing its military presence in the region, deploying thousands of additional troops, warships, and aircraft. This buildup reflects both the scale of the conflict and the uncertainty surrounding its trajectory. Domestically, the war has also generated significant political pressure. Public opinion in the United States is divided, with many Americans expressing concern about the costs and risks of prolonged military engagement. Rising energy prices and economic uncertainty have further complicated the administration's position, making the pursuit of a diplomatic resolution increasingly urgent. At its core, the conflict represents a complex interplay of military power, economic leverage, and political strategy. The United States seeks to weaken Iran's capabilities while maintaining pressure through sanctions and military action. Iran, in turn, aims to demonstrate resilience, leveraging its regional networks and strategic geography to counter U.S. efforts. Trump's narrative, with its emphasis on dominance and inevitability, is only one part of this larger picture. While he presents the conflict as a story of success and momentum, the reality remains far more nuanced. Iran continues to resist, alliances are being tested, and the path toward resolution remains uncertain. Even as negotiations are discussed and proposals are exchanged, the war shows no clear signs of ending. Missile strikes continue, shipping lanes remain unstable, and the risk of further escalation persists. The possibility of a broader regional conflict or even a global crisis cannot be ruled out. Ultimately, the situation reflects the inherent unpredictability of modern warfare. Despite advanced technology, strategic planning, and powerful alliances, outcomes remain uncertain, shaped by a complex web of factors that extend far beyond the battlefield. Trump's own words capture this uncertainty. There's always surprises with war. Donald Trump, President of the United States. That statement, perhaps more than any other, encapsulates the reality of the current moment. Beneath the confident rhetoric and strategic calculations lies a fundamental truth: war is unpredictable, and its consequences are often impossible to fully anticipate. As the conflict continues, the world watches closely, aware that the decisions made in the coming weeks could shape not only the future of the Middle East, but the broader trajectory of global politics for years to come.